I once had a boss who would call me up at 8 p.m. in the night and ask me, "Hey, have you completed that task?" At that time, I didn't know whether it was normal, let alone toxic. But the scariest part was I thought it was normal. If you are from India or Southeast Asian countries, you would have come across a boss who was pushy, guilt trip you, or even embarrassed you in front of people. Now the real question is, are Indian or Southeast Asian bosses toxic, or are they just misunderstood? So watch till the end of the video to find that. Okay, now let me talk about some of my personal experiences working with Indian managers or even Southeast Asian managers. The one thing I have noticed in them is they are micromanaging. What time you log in, what time you log out, when do you sit on your desk, and what's the length of your break. Even though that means that you don't complete your task, but you're sitting in front of your computer or monitor for 8 to 10 hours. And also another thing, they don't like discussions. They don't tend to like a healthy debate or ideation. They find it as a threat, or better ideas are shut down by especially competitive migrants who come here, who wants to make it big. They get an opportunity and that becomes their only point of hope to climb the ladder. In that case, you tend to get most of them trying to suppress you or your ideas or your contribution to the team. I've had personal experiences where you're reporting to a manager who's come from another country, from either India or the Southeast Asian country. They tend to be very competitive, and any sort of ideas or healthy debates is seen personal, and they try to put you down or they try to suppress you so that they can climb the ladder. I had a boss once tell me, "I am your boss, I am the manager, you don't have to give these ideas." And that took me aback and started thinking that, okay, what is making them say these things? If I play the devil's advocate, what is the thing which makes them feel that they're losing to another person? What is that leadership style which makes them think that I don't have to listen to this person? And for that, you need to go a bit step back to know the culture or the background of these people. From the school days, you tend to listen to your teachers. Your teachers are meant to be your gurus, and the culture teaches you to obey them no matter what. If you go back to a school back in India or any Southeast Asian country, the teacher sits there, they have the control, they have the powerful source. So what they tell you is what you need to listen, and there's no room for discussion or argument or even a debate. You just need to follow their orders. You see those kind of control systems in place, so when you become a boss or when you become a manager, you tend to follow that because that's the only thing what you have learned from your teachers, from your growing up stage. You think that the only way to place your power is by making them obey. So that's where all these managers, all these bosses from these countries, they tend to assert their superiority in a very dictatorial manner. Not all of them are super controlling. I worked with many of them who are supportive, but generally speaking, people from India and Southeast Asian countries who get power in their hand, they tend to suppress others. Now, what's the solution to all this? The solution is you and me. When we become managers or when we get that power in hand, make sure that you are the change. You don't pass on the trauma of the previous generations to the next generation. You need to be the change. When you get a chance or when you become a manager or a boss, you need to make sure that you create that healthy culture in the team where you give everyone their space and not just be power hungry to climb the ladder at any cost. You need to make sure that everyone is heard. The key thing you need to understand as a leader is there are other human beings part of the team, and you need to grow everyone together. If you as a boss or a manager wants to climb the ladder, your team needs to support you. And for that, you need to have a strong culture and a strong, happy team environment. You don't need to micromanage. You don't need to see whether the person is sitting on the desk and doing their job. You just need to make sure the work is done, be it 1 hour, 2 hours, or it takes the whole day. You just need to make sure the right environment is provided and everybody follows that culture. And for these things to change, and for the perception that Indian and Southeast Asian managers or bosses are toxic, for these perceptions to change, you need to be the change. Make those changes from day one. You need to go into those environments and make sure that you're treating all your employees with happiness and with open arms, not by checking how much time they sat on the desktop or how many emails they have sent, or whether they have not taken a sick leave, or whether they have done the late hours. It's all getting the job done in time and also having that happy culture in place. So let's hope that we become the change, and we can do a lot in terms of changing the perception around Indian and Southeast Asian bosses. If you do the right things, and I'm not saying that all of them are bad, no. Even there are other bosses who are from other regions of the world who are toxic as well. But what I'm saying is, majority of them have created this perception. So the next generation should change this perception and make life better for everyone in workplace. If you like my thoughts, and if you think I'm right, or if you think I'm wrong, put in the comments below. And don't forget to hit the like button and share and subscribe. I'll create more content on my experience in the corporate world and what I have come across. And also in my previous video here, I've spoken about how I quit my corporate and how I am living a happy life. But it's important that I share these things with you. For those who are going into the corporate world or who are encountering this problem, I thought it's important for you to know this as well. So go to the comment box if you agree to this or not. Put in the comments below, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And thanks for watching. Bye.